Hello, beautiful friends. It's Leah Marie here with a special little bonus card reading and self love exploration. So, as I mentioned in one of the previous oracle readings, I am going to be launching a beautiful self love program, and this is part of that. And one of the first resources that is being put together, has been put together, is this beautiful self love daily deck. I love myself so much, created by my beautiful friend April, who has chosen to partner with Golden Phoenix Healing to get this resource out. And if you're interested in getting your own 52 card deck, it is going to be linked in the description box below how you can support the Kickstarter and allow yourselves to have one of these spectacular little decks. And so just wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of self-love and just give you these awarenesses of how important it is for you to put your focus inward if you want to see true change in your life and in the world around. So a lot of times it is much easier for us to point the finger outside and say, oh, it's because so and so or such and such created this roadblock or this hurdle in my life, and this is why I can't do this, or this is why I am the way that I am. And I know that I was there in my own ways and spaces for many years, and really looking at it as the external world was doing things to me versus for me. And that was one of the big changes that happened in my own life, was coming into the realization that the universe is doing everything for us. Now, it doesn't always look pretty and beautiful. It might not always be gentle and fun. However, the universe is doing things in the way that it needs to in order to get us where we're meant to go, to teach us the lessons that we came here to learn. And sometimes those are going to be challenging and intense situations. And this is why really truly going inside and loving ourselves more and looking at our own internal world to determine what it is specifically that's going on. So something happens in the outside world, we have emotions come up, or we have a reaction that happens, bringing our gaze inward rather than pointing the finger saying, you did this. Say, okay, this happened. Now I'm going to choose to look inside. What is it bringing up inside of me? What just got triggered? What just got illuminated in terms of something being misplaced, or something being out of alignment or out of balance or in a state of disharmony? And so when we look within, we can start to explore what it is that the universe was bringing us that external sort of trigger for, to point us towards what needs to be healed inside. And now, a lot of people, if there isn't self-love, they're not necessarily going to look inward to see, like, well, what's going on within me that is causing this reaction. They might, if they're not looking at loving themselves, or putting that blame outside, it is likely that there's not going to be healing that takes place. And it isn't really even about blaming. There isn't necessarily this sense of responsibility. It's just that all of us are being utilized by the divine to teach and to learn. So it's like teaching and learning, and we're all teaching and learning different things at the same time. So with this, I am going to just randomly pull these 3 cards that were on top here after a shuffle, and we're going to talk a little bit about these different aspects of self-love that are coming up here, and just really giving yourself the opportunity to bring more love to yourself and more healing. Because if we continue to live in a world of finger pointing and blaming, rather than taking responsibility for our own healing journey, then it's going to be challenging to come into unity consciousness. And as many of you who have tapped in here know, I am here to help humanity shift into unity consciousness. And the guidance that I have been receiving from the divine is to start with self-love. It is how I have cultivated my own journey. I have spent extensive amounts of time working on self-love and doing healing and growth and working with other healers and teachers to learn how to love myself more so that I can come here and be a resource and to also help teach you guys how to do that as well. And so if you want to do kind of how we do with the oracle readings, you can intuitively choose 1, 2, or 3, or you can tap into all of them just to receive insights on how each one of these is a way that you can cultivate more love for yourself and really bring it into your life for more expansion and connection and ability to enjoy life every day. So I'm going to start with card 1, which I will do the action because some of these do have actions. So it says, guides us to place a hand over our heart and say, I forgive myself for all my past mistakes. I am a beautiful work in progress. So I will bring that closer so you can see, and there's these beautiful hearts on there. And this is such a huge part of our journey, forgiveness. So it's really about forgiving ourselves for things that we have done. Maybe we did things out of anger or frustration or hurt. And it doesn't mean that we need to beat ourselves up over that. It also doesn't mean that we hold on to it and say, well, I was right and I'm just going to flow with this and it doesn't matter. What Spirit's really saying is it's about you forgiving yourself and recognizing that we are all doing our best in each moment, and that is going to vary based on how much we have learned, how much we are growing, how many different changes are happening in our lives. And so it's really about acknowledging that and honoring yourself and connecting with your heart and knowing that if you felt bad about anything that you did, or you felt like, oh man, I really wish that I hadn't done that way or said that way, that's an opportunity for you to choose to do something differently the next time, okay? And so this is a really beautiful opportunity to do just that. And so I would encourage you to connect with your heart and to ask to be shown if there's anything that you need to forgive yourself for today and moving forward in order to be at a greater state of peace and harmony within yourself. So thank you for those of you who picked card 1. I'm going to move on to card 2. And card 2 is write down 6 things you love about yourself. So this is a really great way to actually start focusing on all the things that you do love about yourself. Because I will say what I see so often in coaching sessions is the ego chimes in, and we could really love like a ton of things about ourselves. But then the ego chimes in and wants to tell us, well, but I don't like this, and I don't like this, and I don't like this. And then unfortunately, we can get on these trains where we're sitting here and we're focusing just on these things that we don't like about ourselves. And so this is Spirit really coming through to encourage you to write down and focus on all the things you already love about yourself so that you can put more energy to that. So you can invite more energy of love into your life, so you can start acknowledging all the things that are really beautiful and great about you, which puts us into a stronger state to step into more things, to cultivate more self-love, and to be able to radiate more love into the world. And there are more than 6 things for you guys, I can guarantee it. Even if at first you do this exercise and you're like, I can only come up with like 2, I don't know what to do here. Don't worry about it. It's an exercise. And so sit down and just notice how fluid it's coming through, what comes up when you do this, because this might actually trigger other things within you that are ready to be healed as well. And so it's again about creating more self-awareness where you do love yourself, which is awesome, focus on it, and also where you might not love yourself yet, because we need to see those spaces of where we don't have love so that we can bring love to them. And so if this is something that does happen, I encourage you to see that as an actual gift from Spirit, giving you more awareness of where to focus your attention, and then looking at how can I bring more love to these places and spaces within me that I don't currently love. What would I need to do or change or become aware of, or maybe I need to seek help to foster more love in this space, to do deeper healing around this particular element in order to have more self-love. So thank you so much for those of you who picked card 2. Moving on to card 3. Sending so much love and light to you guys. Take care. So card 3. Eat your favorite treat today. So I have to laugh. There's one other one that's kind of similar to this in the deck that I got the other day, and I was just like, no, I don't want to eat sweets today. And then I was like, well, but do I actually need that? Does my heart need a treat today? Because I do feel like there can be extremes of this, of course, right? We can have a space where we're eating way too much or we're overindulging in sweets and treats, and that's one thing. And there's also, we could be holding off and never allowing ourselves to have that. And I have seen these extremes with parents before where they don't want their kids to have any of them, which just creates this deeper desire for them. And then they try to get sneaky and they're like, doing it or overindulging when they do have the opportunity. And so this is really, I'm feeling this energy of it's allowing yourself to be okay in moderation, having a treat that you enjoy. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be something sweet. For me, sometimes it's saltier things that are a treat for me that I like, but that maybe I don't want to eat every day because it's not the best for my system to have every day. And so this is really calling to this energy of treating yourself and allowing yourself to reward yourself with things that you do really like, rather than just being like, nope, never okay. And stepping into the energy of moderation and loving yourself enough in this energy to let yourself do these things sometimes, for it to be okay if you want whatever treat it is that is a treat for you. And I know sometimes it can be not only like, it could be the calories for some people, but it could be the money for other people. There might be things that you like that you don't want to spend the money on because it's like, well, that's really like, I don't need to do that. So like there could be like high-end cupcakes or something, like their Nadia Cakes is a place that's popping into my head. And so their cupcakes are, I think, somewhere like $4 or $5 a cupcake, but they're like the most delicious magic in your mouth cupcakes, right? So worth it? Absolutely. However, it's that energy of like, do I need it? Well, you might not need it regularly, but you might need it sometimes. And this is that point of honoring what you need instead of saying, no, I'm not going to give myself that treat. I don't deserve it. I don't need it. It's too much. Like those programs of lack that might come up. And this is really inviting you to come into a space where I'm actually feeling this energy of treats in general, which could be buying yourself like a new pair of pants or a new shirt, or, I love these amazing candles at Patina that we have local here in the Twin Cities that are $30 candles, but they're amazing, long lasting, they smell great, they're really naturally created. And so those are a treat for me. And so it's really about this energy of allowing yourself to treat yourself, to give yourself love, to romance yourself in that way, of giving yourself things that you really do enjoy, because you want to shower yourself with love. And so it's like, even thinking about it where like you might bring a friend a treat because you want to spoil them. Turn it back around on yourself. Spoil yourself every now and again. So really encouraging you to tap into that energy of treating yourself today and or tomorrow, depending on what time you're tapping into this reading, of course, and just allowing yourself to feel how that feels, and notice if you do have programs that come up around not wanting to do that, because that's also pointing you inward to something that needs illumination and healing. And this is an opportunity, and that's part of what this deck is for, is to help you bring a more awareness to the healing and self-love journey itself. So thank you so much for those of you who picked card 3. Sending you so much love and light. Take care.